Lately, people have been talking about Marvel Rivals dying or being dead or the worst game ever. Some of the biggest names in gaming, like Ninja, have said that they're dropping Marvel Rivals and just done with it, which is super sad to hear. This game is super cool and fun. It's quickly became one of my favorites. I love Marvel and hero shooters. And so to me, it's just really sad to see, and I would hate to see it suffer the same fate as a game like Overwatch. So like I do with most things, I went alone to my room, closed all the doors, and sat in silence, just pondering and thinking about this game and my place in the universe with it. And I finally came to the conclusion. It is boring. Boring is defined as not interesting or tedious. And I think that actually very much so describes a lot of people's now feelings about Marvel Rivals. And to show you what I mean about how this game is boring, I'm going to go over and rank what are the 3 roles: tank, support, and DPS. Which of these roles is the most boring to the least boring? Let's get into it. At 3rd place, the least boring to play is DPS. Shocker. There's multiple reasons for this. One, and most obvious being, the amount of characters. If you look at the support role in Marvel Rivals, just looking at the amount of characters, the available options is insane to think about. There's about twice as many support characters, and even tanks really, as DPS characters, or twice many DPS. There's over twice as many DPS characters as there are tanks and supports, which is a real shame. It's really hard for a game and players to get bored when this one section of characters vary so widely, right? Just their weapons and overall vibe range from short, angry Canadian with bone claws to man who's literally on fire, to billionaire who flies around in metal suit with a nuclear reactor on his chest shooting lasers, to a lady who's a weather goddess, to the smartest man in the universe stretching around and bonking people, to a red-headed assassin Russian lady with a sniper, to even a man who's basically Batman if he actually killed people and used guns. And don't even get me started on the Fishman. And like I said, there's twice as many of them as there are supports, so you have unlimited options practically, and we're getting more. So that is why DPS is the least boring to play. Now for 2nd place, and you're either going to be shocked by this or you'll agree with this. Tanks are the 2nd least fun to play or the most boring to play in Marvel Rivals. And then go figure, from this placement you can tell that support is in the 1st place. Anyways, why are tanks so unfun and boring to play as? Well, that's easy, because they're not really a tank. When we use the word tank, we often think about and picture the military vehicle called a tank. Heavily armored, moves really slow, and hits like a mother trucker. And only half of those statements are true about our Marvel Rivals tanks. They do typically move slow, with very limited movement options, and they are heavily armored with a lot of health or a way of mitigating damage. But almost none, if not all of them, besides Emma, hit like a truck. They don't have, besides Emma, a one-shot combo, deal a lot of damage, or really fast, or anything to set them apart and be somewhat more tank-like in terms of their damage. And then 2nd point, real quick, is that their range is also incredibly short. Their range primarily is from short to mid-range, and even then, it's really just short range. If we look at a character like Ben Grimm, The Thing, Emma Frost, Hulk, or even Thor, and Doctor Strange, all of their primary attacking ranges are right in front of them to maybe a foot or 2 in front of them, right? Doctor Strange, magic whip into dark magic. Ben Grimm, punch, 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 haymaker, punch, punch, punch. Hulk, like same thing, punch, punch, punch. Maybe you do the clap and scream at them to stun them. Emma Frost, you mind laser them, whatever that beam is called, and then diamond form you can kick them or punch them. And this wouldn't be that big of an issue if it weren't for the fact that there's 3 to 4 flyers in the game that are all pretty good. It'd be one thing if there was 1 or 2 and one of them is mediocre at best, but there's 3 to 4 and they're all pretty strong. Because if you're in this situation where your favorite character is Ben Grimm the Thing, you love him, you think he's super fun and cool, you like just punching people and charging at them, and you love Yancey Street. If he's your guy and you're playing against a team with Storm, with Human Torch, with Iron Man, with Ultron, you have one of 2 options. Switch, in which case you play as a different character that you don't want to play as, or be a damage sponge. You're just absorbing all this damage, you can't do anything back to them, and you're just giving them free ult charge. What do? It's a tough choice. So all these things, from their range and lack of damage, all combined to being super unfun to play against, right? Again, if you're Ben Grimm and someone's Human Torch, you have to accept the fact that you just cannot hit them and that you're going to lose this game. You're going to lose this 1v1 against them. As well, unless you're Emma, you have no way of actually truly confirming a kill on an opponent. Emma does, and I think more characters should have her type of one-shot combo that can only happen, you know, like every 30 seconds or a minute, whatever her cooldown is, which gives them actually some gravitas and makes them more similar to an actual tank, where they hit really, really hard one time and they take a while to reload and then hit really, really hard again. And now onto our supports. And this is where you're going to either really, really agree with me, or you'll either really, really disagree with me. But as a support main, support, at least in Marvel Rivals, as they're all designed and currently available to us, support is the most boring and unfun to play as, for multiple reasons. But I think it's this one primary reason, which I almost made this whole video about just this. And it's that they all play the exact same. And to prove my point in this, we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you 3 statements about a character, and you have to guess from those 3 statements which character I'm thinking of. Statement number 1. Their primary fire also heals their allies. Statement number 2. Their other ability is a movement ability which allows them to get in and out of situations. Statement number 3. Their ultimate provides mass healing to all nearby allies. I'll give you some time to think. Do 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 do. Na. If you guessed all of them, you'd be correct. This describes 99, if not 100%, of all the support characters in the game, with the exception of kind of Ultron and then Jeff free rework. And this is the bigger reason primarily why they're all unfun to play against. And we can use and look back at the other 2 roles to really highlight this point. All our tanks, they're all very, very different in how they play and what they do. Venom, high mobility, high health because of his armor, and Divey, right? Does moderate damage, but primarily is about movement and poking. Ben Grimm the Thing, he's all about brawling, long lasting, trying to stop movement and being in your face. Emma Frost is kind of the perfect blend of all of them, with her shield being able to deal with flyers somewhat and protect her team, as well her diamond form that gives her some damage mitigation and an ability to one-shot squishy. Hulk has, again, really good movement ability, really good damage output, a stun, and his ultimate can deal a fair amount of damage and displace people. As for DPS, obviously, you have 3 to 4 that can just fly around and shoot people from afar, not have to deal with them close up. You have other characters that have turrets and they're primarily just long range poking and shooting from afar. You have others that try and get in there with their adamantium claws or their demon swords and twirl around and move and crazy. You have some other people trying to bounce and swing around to punch you and combo you. And for supports, you're in the back line, you shoot them to heal, you try and save your stuns and your ultimates for when something happens. That's kind of it. Maybe you're able to kill and get some good damage in, but primarily you're doing the exact same thing from this character as you are to another character. The fact that Luna Snow, Dagger, Mantis, Rocket Raccoon, all of them play extremely similar is very much so a problem. While it is true that they're unique in regards to their secondary supporting option, like Rocket has a revive beacon, Mantis has damage boost, Cloak has damage taken increased, Atom can revive people, and so on and so on. And those, in regards to that, those are actually probably their strongest attributes of what makes them all unique and different and fun to play, is that different style and portion of their supporting package. But otherwise, you're pressing the same buttons, doing the same game plan, going to the same spots on a map with every character because they all play extremely similar and the same. And it's for this reason alone that I think support is the most boring, not interesting, tedious role to play in Marvel Rivals, and why I think it's dying and slowly going downhill.